let's start today the introduction class as well as the concepts will start today. And if you want to know about the Salesforce history, you can go to the Wikipedia of salesforce.com. So this is founded by Mark Benioff in 1999. The history was like he was working as executive in Oracle company, and he suggested the board members to have the cloud computing. Okay, means before 1999, if you observe that there were a lot of applications which runs on servers. For that, the customer should buy the software, hardware, platform, and servers, security servers. Each and everything he has to buy. So he has given an idea that so why do we need the customer to buy all the things? Why can't we provide as service? Okay, he has suggested like that, but they have denied that idea. They denied that idea that we don't want to do like that. So he came out of Oracle and he started a company called Salesforce.com. Okay, so the idea was to provide each and everything through the internet to the customer. You don't want, the idea is the customer should not buy anything, should not set up anything. He can just use internet and access anything through the internet. That was the concept of cloud computing. Okay, if you want to know more about salesforce.com, so this is the URL. You just go and search something on this. Okay, so you can understand and try to find out or try to record something. Prepare your notes for this. If someone asks you, can you explain the history of Salesforce, then you should not be in mood mode. Okay, so what is a Salesforce? Before that, what is a cloud computing? Okay, so cloud computing is the word which we are using to access all the resources through the internet. Means virtualization of the resource, or in simple manner what we can say that accessing all the resources through the internet without installing a software, without having hardware, or without buying a software, and without platform, each and everything. Okay, then what is a Salesforce? Salesforce is a cloud-based CRM application. If you want, you can note down. What is a cloud computing? Cloud computing is the process of accessing all the resources Now let's say we are saying that accessing all the resources, or let's say before going into these, do you guys know about computer and programs and application? Do you have any idea what is a platform and others? No? So let's discuss something like this. What is a program? Anyone?
Set of instructions which complete the
Okay. A program is a set of instructions which are executed in a sequential manner to perform a specified task. Okay. So I'm saying that a program is a set of instructions which are executed in a sequential manner to perform a specified task. Okay. If you want to perform addition of two numbers, then you should have three variables first. Let's say if I write like this, C equals to A plus B, then A equals to 10, then B equals to 20, then this is not the sequential manner. So If you observe this one, simply first you need A, then B, then only you can perform A plus B. Okay, this is not a sequential manner. Then the program should execute in the manner of A equals to 10, then B equals to 20, then C equals to A plus B. This is called sequential manner. The program should execute in sequential manner. Then only we can say it is a program. I'll explain when we are writing a program, no problem. Okay, then what is an application? What is an application? Do you have any idea? An application is set of programs which runs and to perform the specified task. A program is a group of instructions which runs in a sequential manner to perform a specified task. Means one program is performing one task. So then a group of programs is called as an application. Then automatically we can say that those are group of tasks. Okay, we can come to know that later. So here in the applications we have different types of applications like desktop applications, then web applications, so something else we can have. Okay, so then what is desktop application and web application? So if you observe, the desktop application means if you go to any restaurant or any something bars or somewhere, they can have their own applications. Simply they can give the billing and then that will be generating the bill simply, but that cannot access through over the internet. That can be accessed from their system only, right? That's called desktop applications. Then what is web application? Yesterday we have discussed that the application will be running in some servers and the same application can be accessed throughout the world through the internet. That's called web application. An example is Facebook, or let's say Gmail, whatever it is. Those are all web applications. Okay. Then what is a software? You guys have any idea? A software is also a group of programs, a set of programs we can say. Okay, it's an application, we can say that also. Okay, so which one is an application and which one is a software? We are saying that both are a group of programs, right? Application means the end user is using for his own tasks or for his functionality. Let's say you have generated, or let's say you have developed an application for billing, hotel billing or restaurant billing, bar billing, something. That's an application. So means the same programs or the same software can be used anywhere. I mean, you can sell to any person, right? Then the same can also called as software also, but there is small difference between application and software. Then what is a software? Say
Application is run on hardware.
yes, okay. And software means you might have heard the word called, we have the MS Office software. Okay, no one can say that MS Office application, right? We can call that as MS Office software, right? Windows software. Okay, not an application. Simply, right? Then what do you that mean? Right? So MS Office and those are softwares means that also can be used by end users, but using that software you can develop your own functionalities or you can own documents or something else that is called. Let's say if you say that MS Office software, using that you are going to prepare your own documentation, resume preparation or PPTs, right? PowerPoint presentations or MS Excel, MS Access, whatever you want, you can do it. Even Outlook also MS Office product. That's called software. Okay. So then what is a platform? You heard about platform? What do you mean by platform? So if you say that, so lot of guys, techie guys, can be speaking about the platform, on which platform you are working. Simply, right? So the platform means it's also a software where we can write and execute the programs. Let's say if I want to perform the addition of two numbers, then I need to write a program. Where I have to write the program? It should be in somewhere in the system that should use some language, right? You might have heard C language, C++, Java, right? .NET. These are all called as platforms. Okay, so those are programming languages as well as softwares as well as the platforms also. Okay, so platform means where we can write and execute the programs. Okay, for writing a program you should have a platform. Okay, without a platform you cannot write any code or any programs. Okay, so the familiar platforms are Java, .NET, and you can say SAP, so etc. You can use any number of platforms as well. Okay, so let's say if we come to Salesforce, we are saying that Salesforce is a cloud-based computing application. That's a CRM application. Okay, so before that, we know that cloud computing application means without software, I mean without installing a software, without hardware, without infrastructure. So you can just directly access the application through the internet. That's called as cloud computing application. Okay, so then what is CRM application? Yes, customer relationship management, right? Then what do you mean by the customer relationship management and why it is important? Okay, so if you take any business, you should have customer, right? Let's say if you are manufacturing a refrigerators, or let's say if you are manufacturing mobiles, something, you have to sell your products. Means then you should get customers, then only you can sell the products, right? Then once you sell the product, once you sold the product, then you have to maintain the relationship with the customer with the proper details. So if you observe that if you buy something in the DMart or more or somewhere else, what happens is they will take your mobile number, right? After that, every week or every month, in a frequency manner, you will be keep on getting emails or messages that okay, these are the offers we have, these are the things we have, right? Let's say you bought an refrigerator for your own purpose. Then after some time, if it is get defected or something, what you have to do? You have to contact some customer. I mean, sorry, customer service, right? Or it's a customer support. Once you contact, they will provide the service. They will send an engineer or they will send someone to rectify that defect. Alright? So that's how they are supporting. So if they don't support like that, then no one will try to buy the products. Right? So that means the entire thing from getting the customer and selling the products, after selling the products, maintaining the relationship with the customer and providing the service, each and everything can be performed on single application. That's called as CRM application, customer relationship management application. Okay, Salesforce is a CRM application. That too, it is a cloud based CRM application. So as it is a cloud based CRM application, we know that we should have internet to access the Salesforce or the application, as it is cloud computing application. Then how we are going to create and how we are going to access the Salesforce. Okay, so for signing up, you should have your email, Gmail account should be there. Okay, then what you can do is developer.salesforce.com. Note down this one, developer.salesforce.com. Okay, so this is the website where you can create your own account for developing purpose. Okay, so here you can click on sign up. So once you click on sign up, it will give like this. Now you have to give your first name, last name, email address, and then role, company name, whatever it is. So you just give like this. I'm giving. Here you just give your email address only. You don't need to give 1, 2 or something. You just give your email address. The company name, whatever you want, you can give something. And country. Here it should be email address. Here username should be in the format of email. Okay, so it should end with @ and something dot com or .in dot whatever it is, you can give it. Okay, so once you click on this and it will come the page like this. Go to your email address. Here this is. Click on verify account. Now it asks to set a password. Change password means here you have to give the password. Password should be like 8 characters and 1 letter and 1 number should be there. Okay. So once you set the password, it will come like this. Okay, this is called lightning mode. Means, let me show you something. Okay, for any application, whatever the application you are developing in current generation entrance, it should support for the mobile, right? Each and every application, whatever you are developing or whatever you are using, anyone is preferring to access it through the mobile, right? And so a lot of guys are not using the desktops to operate the any website or something, right? So Salesforce has provided the functionality for accessing the application through the desktop as well as mobiles and tablet and through the any operating system like Android, iOS, whatever it is. Okay, so what we can call it as, if you want to show something in the desktop mode, what we can say that those are called as classic mode. Okay. If you want to see the content, the same content will be displayed in the mode of mobile, then we can call it as lightning. Okay, so now everyone is moving to the lightning. lot of companies are developing all the applications and everything in the lightning mode. So we should learn both classic and lightning. Okay. Now this is called lightning mode. Okay. So to understand the lightning mode, this will be a bit difficult. So that let's go to the classic version first. Okay. So how to go to the classic version? Once you open this, once you reset your password, click on this icon and click on switch to classic. Switch to Salesforce Classic. Okay. So once you open like this, it opens like this. Okay. So let's introduce what is this and how it is working. Okay. We have already spoke about the application. Application is a group of tasks. Right? Now here these are all called as applications. Okay, means very simple thing. Salesforce has provided the different applications like sales, service, marketing. Okay, so if you want to know about that, simply if you have your own company, these three things are very much important. You have to market your products, and you have to sell your products, and you have to provide support to the customers. Then these three are very much important, right? So that's why they have provided the predefined applications for sales, service and marketing. You can use those applications, and if you want to customize something, you can use that also. What do you mean by customize? Let's say very simple, if you buy a mobile and there will be already some applications like Play Store or something will be there, right? So without any intervention or without any problem, you can directly use that mobile. You don't want to install something, right? But if you want to install some other applications like your banking applications or some games or something, you can install it, right? That's like customization according to your need. So they are providing the option to optimize or to update the mobile as per your requirements. That's called as customizing. Okay, so the same way Salesforce has already provided some applications like service, marketing and sales. So you can simply use that application and you can run your business. Okay, otherwise if you want to customize something or if you want to implement your own functionality somewhere, then you can also implement that. There is no restriction for that. Okay, like however you are operating your mobile, the same way you can operate the system also. Okay, now let's talk about all the things. These are service, marketing and sales. These three are the applications. Let's talk about this one. App launcher is the menu. However, these apps should be displayed. That's called as app launcher. Okay, you don't worry about others. Let me explain other thing. Okay, so app exchange. What do you mean by app exchange? So if you operate your own mobile which is having Android operating system, there will be an option to install some software that's called as Play Store, right? Play Store will be an option to install some softwares, right? The same way, however, the Play Store works, the same way App Exchange also works. Means if you click on the App Exchange, it shows the list of softwares. I mean, those are called as managed packages in the general term. So those will be available here. I'll explain what is managed package and everything later. Don't worry about that. Means you can simply understand that however you are installing the some softwares from the Play Store, the same way this is also called App Exchange. You can access, I mean you can install one of the software and you can use it. That's it. So here we can call as managed applications, okay, managed package, and there we can say that it's a software simply. Okay, this is about small introduction about this one. So then developer developer community means, so in the developer community, if you have some doubts or if you have some confusion, then what we can say that if you sign up and everything, then you can however you are using the Facebook commenting or questioning something, the same way you can access this also. Okay, and then this is the trailblazer community. Trailblazer means here we can say that we have trailheads, Salesforce trailheads. I'll explain at the end of the session. This is very much required. Okay, I'll let you know this one. Okay, here these are called as the entire panel. So if you see this line is there, right? This is called as tab panel. So you can understand that what is a panel. Panel means somewhere we can keep the track or something. Okay, then these are called as tabs. Okay, tabs, you generally have to know that, right? Okay, if you are using any application, click on that tab or click on this one, something it will be there. So it's a tab. Each and every word, leads, accounts, contracts, opportunity, everything is called as tab. Okay, so these are called as app menu, and these are called as applications, and this is called as tab panel, and these individual words are called as tabs. Okay, now let's understand the basic how we are going to store the data. Okay, very simple. If I ask you guys to enter the customer data, something like this, I asked you, please prepare a table with list of students and their fees and their date of birth and others. Then what you are going to do? You can draw a table, right? Simply you can draw a table like if I ask you to prepare the table, then what you are going to do is here you are going to enter the serial number, name, and let's say phone number, then address, something like this. Right? Now here you are going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, let's say. So this is the dummy data and it's not valid, but here there is a table, right? Simply what you are going to do is this is the table here. This is the table you have created with the student details. Okay, now here you are going to give the name called student details. Here the table name is student details, and then columns are serial number, name, phone, address, and the data is having one something date something. Right? Now here the table name, right? So the entire table is called as an object in Salesforce. Say that it's an object, then it will be a table. Simply an object is a table. Okay, so then why do we need to have an object in Salesforce, right? Simply in any application, or we can say that in relational database, we have to store the data in the table format. Okay, it should be in the table format. Okay, or if you want to have in the website format, then it will be the different. but here it is the data will be in the rows and columns. Okay, so here the table is called as an object. Okay, then columns, table is called as an object, and each and every column is called as the field. Each and every column is called as field. Then the data is called as record or row. So what usually we call, so this is the row number, right? This is the one row, and this is one row, and another row, this is another row, right? So we used to call in the table it's a row, but in Salesforce we used to call it as a record. Okay, I think you understand that what is a table, what is a column, and in Salesforce what we can call as table is called as an object, and column is called as field, and row is called as record. Okay, now what do you mean by a tab? So this is okay, fine, till now we have created a table and everything is there. Okay, so now here we have all these tabs. What do you mean by tab? Means here whatever you are seeing, that campaigns, leads, accounts, contracts, opportunities, forecast, contracts and everything, each and everything is a table. Means each and everything is called as an object. Account object, contact object, opportunity object, forecast object, contract object, order object, case object. Everything is an object. Now, so but here we are calling it as a tabs, right? So then what do you mean by tabs? Okay, so let's say you have created a table with the same serial number, phone, address and everything in Salesforce. Means once you create a table, then it's called as an object, and you have created columns as well, serial number, name, phone, each and everything. Now you have a database table. Now you have to enter the data, right? Now if you want to enter the data, then you should have an user interface. Okay, that user interface is called as tab. Means each and every tab is associated with one object to deal with the data. Okay, now we just now sign up with the Salesforce developer account, but we have not created any object till now, right? We just signed up, but there are already objects, right? These objects are called as the Salesforce standard objects. Okay, there are two types of objects in Salesforce. One is standard objects, second one is custom objects. Okay, standard objects and custom objects. What do you mean by standard objects? Means the objects which are provided by the Salesforce by default, those are called as standard objects. Okay, the objects which are provided by the Salesforce by default, those are called as standard objects. Okay, now if you observe here, we have campaigns, leads, accounts, contacts and everything. This we have not created them, and you cannot create these standard objects. You cannot delete these standard objects. Okay, only you can use these standard objects. That's it. So standard objects is the Salesforce provided objects by default. Okay. Okay, so now let's deal with the data first. Okay, now you understand the standard objects, right? The objects which are provided by the Salesforce by default. Okay, you are not going to create any standard objects. You cannot delete the standard objects. Okay, there are much difference. I'll explain later. Okay, now here when we click on this, any leads or accounts, if you click on new button, okay, now I want to create a record on this specific object. What you can do is you just click on tab and click on new. It will open the page. This is called as layout. Okay, so this entire is page, right? and this is called layout. This is called as page layout. Okay, page layout. Here, if you observe this, first name, last name, company, title, these are columns. These are all columns. You have not created anything. Okay, so there are fields, right? The fields which are called as, the fields which are provided by the Salesforce are called as standard fields. Okay, there are two types of fields: standard fields and custom fields. Okay, standard fields means the fields which are provided by the Salesforce by default. Those are called as standard fields. Okay, custom fields means the fields which are provided, or sorry, which are created by the developers for our need. Okay, those are called as custom fields. Don't worry about the custom fields and custom objects, I will explain. So just think about standard objects and standard fields. The objects which are provided by the Salesforce, those are called as standard objects, and the fields which are provided by Salesforce, those are called as standard fields. Okay, you cannot delete the standard fields and you can't create the standard fields, the same as it is from the standard objects. Okay, now how to deal with the records here. So when you click on tab, and there will be a button called new. When you click on new, and it opens the page layout, it's called as user interface. Okay, now here you can see this, there are red marks, right? The red mark means this is mandatory. Okay, red mark means mandatory. Okay, so if you give something the data card and you have not entered the data into the mandatory fields, if you click on save, then it will give some error. You must enter a value. Okay, now here let's say last name, you can give anything. Okay, now if you observe here, some of the fields are drop downs, right? And some fields are text, simple text, you can enter anything. And then, so this is called drop down again. Okay, this is drop down. And here if you see this campaign, right, there is different field called, when you click on this, it opens something to select the data. Okay, this is different. These are called lookup fields. I'll explain it later, don't worry. And here these are number fields. If you give something text or something, try to save it. See, invalid currency means this is currency field. Okay, now here see the box is bigger, right? This is called as text area. This is number field. Okay, so I'll explain one by one. Here when you give the mandatory fields and click on save, the record will be created. Okay, so how to create a record? You just click on the tab and click on new button and fill the form, click on save. Here you can edit the record. If you want to edit, you just click on edit and enter something data here. See this. Okay, edit. Now if you delete the record, see this, it will be deleted. Okay, so unfortunately you have deleted the record and unexpected, so you want to restore that. What you can do is, here there is a recycle bin. Just go to the recycle bin, select the record, then click on undelete. Okay, now here this is how it works: deleting, creating a record, updating a record, deleting a record, undeleting a record. These are called DML operations. Okay, so now this is the applications. It's called as app menu. here we have applications like service, marketing, sales, and app launcher. Then here app exchange. Then here this is called a setup. Okay, this entire thing is called as tab panel. Okay, here these are called as tabs. What is a tab? A tab is a graphical user interface representation which is used to create or update or delete the records through the user interface. Okay, this tab is just a component where you can access the objects data. Through the tab you can access the objects data. Okay, so this is about the standard objects and standard fields. Okay, so now let's say I want to know about the different fields which are available on the one of the standard object. Okay, what you can do is you have to click on setup. Okay, click on setup. Now see this, build is there, build administration. So what is administration mean? Administration means just creating a user, updating the user, activating the user, deactivating the user, and some other functionalities, creating groups, queues, everything is called in the administration. Okay, and in build we have customize. In the customize you have lot of things. Let's say I'm having leads, right? If you want to rename something, you can go here and rename tabs and labels. Let's say here I have accounts. If you want different thing, my account. It is changed. Just simply you can rename. Other than that, you cannot do anything for the standard objects. You just rename, that's it, nothing other than that. Okay, so this will be just this one. If you click on reset, simply it will be rolled back. Okay, so this is how it is. Now let's say I have lead object, I want to know about the fields. If you go to this setup and customize, here you can go to the leads and there you have fields. Okay, so for each and every object you have to know the different things. So let's say if you are creating a new object, then these are called fields, related lookup filters, validation rules, triggers, page layouts, field sets, compact layouts. All these things you have to know about for the each and every object. Okay, now let's go about fields. Means we have to know about the different fields we have in the lead object. Now here these are called as the objects, fields. Okay, so how can we identify whether it is a standard field or custom field, right? So the fields which are provided by the Salesforce are called as standard fields. The fields which are created by the developers, those are called as custom fields, right? So if you observe the fields or the object information, the section will be there, lead or anything standard fields. How can we identify them? If you observe this, field label and field name, here address, revenue, campaign, clean status and everything. So here there is an option for editing, but we don't have an option to delete or rename. What you can say is you can just edit, and here you can give some help text. Other than that you cannot do anything. Okay, here, so if you observe the standard fields, this is the naming convention, like industry will be industry. But when you observe the custom fields, here see this custom fields and relationship. Okay, here if you see primary and the API name, or we can say that field name ends with the _C. Double underscore C means custom. Means if you want, you can delete this field also. Okay, but standard fields there is no option for deleting. Okay, so standard fields API name does not ends with the double underscore C, but custom fields API name will always ends with double underscore C. That is the difference between the custom field and standard fields. Standard fields cannot be deleted, cannot be renamed, but custom fields can be deleted, can be created by the developers. Standard fields cannot be created by the developers. Okay, so all you are learning the development. Okay, so this is the difference between the standard and custom fields. So how you want to know about the fields on the specified object? Just go to setup and then go to the build and customize. There select whatever the object you want. Simply let's say lead. Click on that and go to the fields. Okay, so navigation you should note down, otherwise you will forget. Okay, so this is one thing. And if you want to have a shortcut, what you can do is just click on setup. Then where you want to go? You want to go to the lead, right? In quick find, just type leads. Here it will come like this. Okay, first option is the basic one. Go to setup, then build, then lead, customize, leads, and then fields. And second option, click on setup. Just in the quick find, just click on, type leads simply. And other option is, let's say I want account, leads information. Click on here on the leads tab. It will open one pop-up here. Just click on this, click on view fields. Simply it will open the entire fields and others. This is the shortest way. Okay, basic, advanced, and shortest way. Now let's see how to create a small custom field. Now I have lead. What I need to do is, when I'm going to create a new record, I just need to store some other information. Okay, let's say very simple, lead generated date. One thing called lead generated date. That's also a column, right? That's a date field, right? Now how we can create a field? Okay, on standard object, how you are going to create a field? Click on setup. Okay, click on setup, go to the build, customize, then go to that specific object, fields. Okay, is one way, and I'm going to use the shortest way for now. Go to the tab, click on this, open the fields. Okay, navigation is very much important, be careful on that. Now here just click new field, new. Now whatever the field type you need, auto number, formula field, lookup relationship, external relationship, roll up summary fields, you just forget about first 5. Okay, now let's discuss the checkbox, currency, date, date time, email, geolocation, number, percent, phone, pick list, multi-pick list, text, text area long, time, URL. These are all called as data types. Okay, what do you mean by data type? Means if you are creating a table, you are going to mention that phone number, right? That means it accepts only numbers. You are not going to give ABCD something on the phone number, right? So that will give that data type, means it's type of data which we are going to store into that field. Here for now what we are saying that generated date, right? So that's a date. Simply we are saying that it's a date. Now select the date field. Okay, click on next, give the name generated. Okay, simple, give the label For now you don't need to worry about other things, but what we can say is if you give required, then field the red color will come there, and simply without having the data into that field you cannot enter the data. I mean you cannot save the record. Click on next. For now blindly click on next, that's it. Okay, see this by default all checked. Click on next, save. Okay, now just go to the lead. Okay, try to click on new. Simply here you can find the generated date. Okay, simply this is the generated date field has come. This is how you have to create the custom field on the standard object. Now let's see if you want to create a field on the contact object. Just click on this, go to these fields, and then here you can find new custom fields. Click on new and create field. Okay, on standard objects, whatever the standard object, if you want to create a field, simply go to the fields and click on new. Here also if you see, it directly navigates to the contacts fields. Okay, so now do you guys understand how to create a field on this? Okay, now let's say there will be another thing called different types of fields. Let me explain. You know this, simply you can understand the checkbox. You know that, right? We try to create all the fields with one checkbox, one currency, and date, date time, email. You know that you have to give in the email format, right? And then geolocation, you just ignore it. It's not required. You have to give the longitude and attitude. That's something. Number field, you just click create. Percent field, just create one field. And then phone number, create one field. And then pick list, multi-select, text. These are all you try it. I'll explain the pick list and multi-pick list. Okay. What do you mean by pick list? Pick list means it's a drop down. Okay. From the, see, if you are filling any form, if it asks that country, what you are going to do is you click on button and it will give the list of countries. You have to select any country there, right? That's called as drop down. In here we are calling as a pick list. Okay, now here just give, let's say, department. Now here you have to select the second option. The first option I will explain later. There is a global value pick list. Now here department, IT, admin, staff, something you can give it. Okay, so you just ignore all others. I'll just click on next. Okay, now if you try to create a new record, here department. Okay, drop down means you can select only one value at a time. You can select only one value. Okay, so and this one, how many values you can have in one drop down? You can have up to 300 values. Okay, there might be some change in the number. You just Google it, pick list considerations. So then it will give the information. How many values can be there? 300 or 500 values should be there, maximum. Okay, not more than that. And so here IT is 2 characters, admin is 5 characters. Like this, you can have up to 40 characters only, not more than that. Okay, that is the pick list considerations. Now let's say I want to create multi-select. So multi-select means here in the drop down you can select only one value. But in multi-select you can have more than one value can be selected. Let's see that how it works. It's called as multi-select. I'm giving like very simple thing like regions. Here, APAC region, your region, US, UK, and then Australia region, New Zealand region. Something you can give something. Sports also you can give it. Very simple. Okay. Then here there is visible lines. Okay. So what do you mean by visible lines? Let me show that how it works. Here what is the number? We have 4 visible lines. Simply here, see this. How many lines are displaying? Available is 1. APAC, UR, US. 4 lines are displaying because we have given the 4. Number of visible lines 4. So what you can see is how many values you have to delete. I mean you have to select. You can select like this. Okay. In drop down, in pick list you can select only one value, but in the multi select you can select multiple values. Okay, so this is how you have to create the pick list and multi select or any custom field also. So you just try to create a checkbox, try to create all those things, and let me know if you have any questions or something. So most of the guys, what you are going to do, some mistakes are, so once you click, so it will open like this. Now the guys are trying to create a field by using the tab or something, right? If you use the tab, you are dealing with the data, right? If you want to create or delete or modify the fields or object, then you should always go to the setup. Okay, tabs will always use it for accessing the data and for creating or deleting metadata. Metadata means objects or fields, whatever it is. Then you should go for the setup. Okay, so if you want to deal with the fields and other thing on the leads, simply just go to leads, click on this. Then if you observe that it has gone to the setup only, right? How can you see that whether it is a setup page or home page? So here it is home page or it's just a user interface. Here there is no quick find here, right? Because this is just home page. But here if you go to setup, there is a thing called quick find, and here you have an option called administration, build and everything. Okay, if you want to create a field, update a field, or deleting and creating an object, everything you should go for the setup only. Only for creating the records, updating the records, deleting, undeleting, you can go for the home page or user interface. This is okay. So till now, do you have any questions? This is just like your tasks. Please get the history of Salesforce. CRM application. What do you mean by CRM application? Explain that. Standard objects. Okay. Standard fields. Custom objects. We have this data types, right? Checkbox, currency, and then date, date time, all are there. Those are called as data types. Different data types. Pick list and multi select. considerations. Okay, these you guys have to learn before coming to the tomorrow's class.